What you are watching is real. The debaters are actual D&D players. Both parties have agreed to dismiss their tableside debates and instead settle their differences here. Today on Garage Quest D&D Debates, is Healing Word breaking the game?
My name is Rusty, and I believe that Healing Word does not break the game because 5th edition is intended for easy role-playing.
I'm May, and yes, Healing Word is breaking the game of D&D. It's creating invincible characters who are bored with their own adventures and DMs who are completely frustrated with the game. It's breaking the game. We have to change it.
So, I believe very firmly that Healing Word does not break the game. It functions exactly how the game designers for 5th edition intended, in that every other aspect about death and dying and permanent player character loss has been very much subdued or omitted from the primary mechanics of the game.
Well, I think that Healing Word is breaking the game, not simply because it creates invincible characters, but because as a bonus action, it can be used essentially at higher level spell slots. And that can essentially negate any damage the characters are taking, which, yes, does make them invincible, essentially. But the problem with being invincible is that it creates bored characters, or it creates frustrated DMs, which eventually leads to DMs just creating slaughterhouse, like caged deathmatch fights just to see some emotional dynamics in their campaigns.
Well, I understand the argument for player styles that are heavily mechanical oriented, and there being a sort of lack of real stakes in the strategy and gaming element of D&D 5th edition. That said, I believe that this game was primarily designed to encourage role-playing and mechanic-light gameplay that is approachable for beginner gamers. And I do think that there are options perhaps better suited to the alternate style of gameplay, such as Pathfinder or early editions of D&D.
Well, I definitely agree with my opponent that 5e is centered more around role-playing than just optimizing murder hobos. I do think there's a point at which it becomes difficult to have fun role-playing invincible characters, and I just don't know that Healing Word really helps anybody have a dynamic playing experience.
I hear what my opponent is saying, but it sounds like the complaint more has to do with the mechanics of death and dying inherent in the game and less to do with the Healing Word spell itself. I suggest perhaps creating your own house rule for death and dying that makes the stakes a little bit higher in general, rather than removing spells and abilities from players. For example, merely with the addition of a point of exhaustion towards a character once they reach 0 hit points, that makes them, when they're brought back, slightly less capable, and there then becomes a law of diminishing returns. Every time they're brought back, they're even more diminished than before in ability and effectiveness in combat.
Now, I'm sticking to my gun. I think that Healing Word, if nothing else, should not be a bonus action because it's breaking the game.
And I posit that even a marginally talented DM can find ways of tripping up Healing Word.
I don't know. What do you think? Is Healing Word breaking the game? I think so.
I don't think so.
Clearly. So why don't you subscribe below and leave a comment letting us know why Healing Word is or isn't breaking the game in 5e D&D. This has been Garage Quest D&D Debates. Thanks for watching.
Go forth and quest.